Hello everyone, today I'll be reviewing the game that I had made, quote unquote, due to the vagueness, sort of the requirements. Right now, it's going to be the game, and then later on I will tell you when. If you don't need to see any of that, you can just skip the video or close it. I will also be going over the other assets that were also used into making this game and the stuff I had done myself. So we're going to start off. The game's called Jazz and Bullets. So right now we've got this nice little bar going on around here. Character walk animation. Looks around. Trying to use the web controller or the WoW controller with Internet Explorer causes you to right click a lot, and that will bring up the menu and do a little bit of screwy stuff with it, but otherwise it's okay. There's the beautiful mug of that guy. His cigar is constantly smoking, so no matter where you're moving there's going to be a smoke trail following you. He's also got an attack animation where he fires 3 bullets, 1, 2, 3, puts his gun away, takes the smoke from his cigarette as well. On the table, see some money. That will be the collectibles in the game. I did make that myself as well. No thank you, I would not. Oh, actually, go full screen. Oh! Okay, I'll take it. That works. A little bit's too stretched, but it's okay. So we're gonna go over here. Ooh, picking up money. There's another one over here. There's another one on this table over here. Table assets, bar. The bar doesn't look too bad, actually. Too bad we can't get behind there and get ourselves a drink. What a shame. Now you can go around. I left it open so that way it would not freeze the game when you had completed the objectives. So that way you could look around, check out any of the other assets that you want to look at. But if we do press escape, it does work. It'll take you back to the main menu. Oh no, it just leaves full screen. But if you actually do press escape, it takes you back to the main menu. And you can press escape again. If this was not running a web build, I have that implemented, in which it will actually close the application. So that's that. From this point on, I'm going to be looking at the other assets within the game. So if you do not need to see any of that, you can close the video now. Alright. Close that. So we're going to go over the models real quick in 3ds Max. Now the ugly mug of my character looks much better in 3ds Max. I don't know what happened when it was porting or when it was exported. Some settings were off, I guess, or I exported it multiple times. I couldn't figure it out. So I'm gonna have to leave it as is for now. The music is Creative Commons. It's not, I cannot get in trouble for it. It is not plagiarism. It is just a filler piece, and it is a free thing. So is the coin sound. They are both free assets, so there's no issue with those. The pictures, I did texturing on basically everything. Yeah, basically everything except for the money. So I wanted those to actually use like real money looks. So here's the big. I keep trying to move around like it's in Unity, but here's the big Baluk, whichever. He does look a lot sweeter in 3ds Max, a lot smoother. Definitely not as much of an issue. And it also has his animations in here. We'll zoom out a bit, take a look at those. Idle, and then the shooting animation. Just let that run for a second through all the animations. It's a lot slower in 3ds Max than it is in Unity. I feel like it, at least. It may not be. I may not be right about that. But that is him. Next we're going to look at the money stack that I made. There was a guide on how to do it that I was following a little bit, but I kind of winged it afterwards. There's a use of bitmapping in it as well, which I found was pretty interesting because I had never used bitmapping for, at least that I can remember, for any kind of project within 3ds Max. And we'll close this guy and let the other one load. Don't save. Here's the money. It is not textured on the sides because it's a bitmap. I don't know what's going on with that. When I render it out, it shows it, and when I export it, it shows it, but it does not work properly. So if I had that kind of money in real life, man, college would be a lot less stressful if that was the case. Anyway, so that's the model of the money. It's just a box in a box. A box in a box without the sides of the box. I'm going to be pulling up the cigar for the character. Very small item, but I really liked what I did with the textures on it. They are not 100% just because they aren't 100% awesome as I would like to be, because whenever you do textures in 3ds Max, it does some weird color iteration thing. I don't know what it's doing, but whenever I, kind of mess around with colors and shading and like all that stuff, it kind of does weird like blobby stuff like this here on top of that. I don't know if you can see my mouse actually. I don't know if this is recording that, but oh, where are you at? There you are. There's a front view, sides. It's got a nice smoldering look to the front of it. The back, just a standard cigar. Should work out well for it. We're going to be looking at the Tommy gun next. That was also modeled and textured by me, custom. Cigar was also custom. They weren't super difficult to texture for the most part. It's just I did use some new things I learned in Photoshop for this kind of project, but it wasn't exactly the best possible texturing I would have liked to do, just because it didn't look like how you would do it in Photoshop. It comes out like a little differently. But I did take this. It is try to make it look a little bit like worn, like it's been used before. It's not a bad piece. Maybe I would have changed the color because it's a little too green from those splotches, but I think it looks good. You don't really get a really good zoom in on it in the Unity game to begin with, but it does look really nice and smooth. I'm kind of proud of the handles. The handles look really good as well. And the bar. Bar is going to be the last one that shows the entire environment. Look at that. It's nice. And don't save. Error. Runtime error. Better hold you up. What you talking about? Don't save. Runtime error. It's just for me closing them. What in good God's name? I don't usually get runtime errors here, so that's odd. But we'll work through it, I'm sure. Here is the model. Each of the chairs, these are instances of each other. Same with the tables, same with the stools. Or they were, at least. They did some weird shenanigans. Come in here. I also did the texture of the jukebox almost freehand, basically. Let's see. In 3ds Max, the glasses are a lot more see-through, opaque, and they look a lot better than they do in Unity, unfortunately, as far as the textures go. But they still came out alright in Unity, so I'm not complaining too much. These are all each of these is one piece. They're all attached to each other. These used to be a bunch more and a lot more separate pieces, but I had to scrap that because there were way too many tries, almost 4 times the amount of tries as on one shelf as the entire thing. It was absurd. And then these are all just different pieces. I did 3 different bottle types, kind of like one's kind of looking like a wine bottle almost, or a vodka bottle. One's looking more like how like a Patron would look, and another one how a 1800 or something like that would look. I just from my work, I just kind of imagined what it was like, and then yeah, that is the whole bar. Alright, and then we're going to be looking at the textures next, I believe. Some of these textures, no, yes? You know what, I'll leave it at this because the textures are viewed within the 3ds Max as well, so you can kind of see how they look. But the textures are going to be included with the final assets and everything, so everything's in neat folders. That's going to be the end of this. And have a good Christmas holiday season.